Road safety is a very serious issue regarding world health and safety, and it's imperative that now, more than ever, that we protect children, those vulnerable around the world, everywhere. This is a disease that affects everyone. No one is immune from this, so it's absolutely critical that the leadership within the UN, within world governance, really pay attention to this and put the resources and the muscle behind it to make things happen.
Been part of a middle school where I've had 3 of my classmates killed, run over in a span of 14 months. It's been so tragic.
Calling on our world leaders to make road safety a priority. There are many practical things: safety belts, helmets, laws on drunk driving and speeding. I think there's still so much work that we can do individually and as a collective, for as long as we're losing 500 children every day.
This has been a year of great progress for the Foundation. Our key objective for 2015 was to ensure that our agenda was reflected in the Sustainable Development Goals, and we've worked very hard at the United Nations to try and ensure that road safety and fuel efficiency and air quality issues are included in the mainstream development agenda.
It's just so important to really get that groundswell of support. The FIA Foundation's leadership, utilizing the contacts and the relationships, bringing people together are important parts of the road safety movement.
We have a moral obligation to insist with the world's leaders that they take the urgent action that is in their power and demand that the world end this entirely preventable horror.
The important thing for the Foundation is to have strong partnerships to try and help deliver action. So we've been working on building new partnerships this year with organisations including UNICEF, with Save the Children, and the US government's international aid agency, USAID.
So this isn't one single agency trying to take it forward, it's a coalition of different partners. The FIA Foundation, who has been really quite catalytic in helping us think through what are the right entry points in order to help countries on the ground make a difference for children.
The initiative of the FIA Foundation and UNICEF, it's a fantastic initiative. It's something that it's so obvious in terms of what are the practical measures to be developed, what are the specifics, and they are not very complex solutions. They are practical solutions related to pathways, segregation of the ways to the schools. It's a fantastic pragmatic approach which I consider very, very positively.
So in Cambodia, for example, we're now working in partnership with the US government and local NGOs to try and improve motorcycle helmet wearing, and we were delighted that Michelle Yeoh came and visited the project, helped launch the campaign, met the Deputy Prime Minister of Cambodia, but also saw the real impact on people in the streets.
When I look at what's happened here in Cambodia, for example, having the enactment of the law that says passengers must also wear helmets, it is gratification, because the hard work that's been put in over the past few years have bore fruits, good results in that way, and it will make a dramatic difference. We have to find ways not just to protect the adults, but especially the children. They need our help, and we have to give it to them.
The IRAP vision is for a world free of high-risk roads. Our target is simple. We want to eliminate 1- and 2-star roads from the world's road network. Our assessments across over 500,000 kilometres of roads so far have identified 55% of roads are 1- and 2-star. That for me is an opportunity to save so many lives. Just one movement in star rating, we can halve the death rate on that road.
Vehicle safety, the tests that Global NCAP have been doing in Latin America, India and Asia are changing the debate and changing the agenda. In India, the government is responding, motor manufacturers are responding. Some of the worst cars which scored 0 stars are now being re-engineered and getting 3 stars or 4 stars. So we're seeing tangible progress.
What we've seen here is that there's been a really powerful and united message, and that message is that really the time for words is over and that we really need real action. There's a partnership with the World Resources Institute, and that's focusing on urban health, children and urban mobility, and looking really at how we can make our cities provide safe systems for our children.
We are working with the FIA Foundation to implement the principles in 3 countries, in Brazil, Turkey and Mexico, and help decision makers if they want to save lives, if they want to create better and sustainable cities.
The Global Fuel Economy Initiative has worked hard on that issue to bring it to the fore and to share the potential benefits of improving fuel economy. COP21 will be a great focus for that. We'll be announcing new resources, new countries, new research, all of which will be our attempt to add to the momentum towards practical solutions on the issue of climate change.
When you have the new Sustainable Development Goals for the United Nations, and we have to address them. It's something that cannot stay on paper. We have challenges that are real, they are on the streets. I have a 2-year-old son. Whenever I go on the street with him, it's something that brings me a lot of tension because I see how uninviting the streets is for him. I don't want to be in danger whenever I go out of my building to walk with him. I don't want to be afraid. And the quality of the public space and how adequate they are for children, that's the goal that we have to have in mind.
So it means that there is a whole set of communities out there which is looking at the transport sector and say like, please help us to deliver this future that we have defined in the post-2015 development agenda. Transport systems for about 500 million people will have to be created. The question is, like, what kind of transport systems are we going to create? Are these going to be safer? Are these going to be more low carbon? So overall, I think that there is a tremendous opportunity that we have.
Funding is going to be crucially important. It's now really an obligation on the philanthropic institutions, as well as some of the big industries as well, to come in and say we've a joint responsibility to make the roads safer, to make cities more civilized places to be, to control emissions and to protect the environment. And we've now got this high-level panel with a huge number of very influential people in the world. They're raising money but also raising awareness. We've got Jean Todt appointed as the UN Secretary General's Special Representative on Road Safety, able to leverage his influence within the world community. So we've achieved a huge amount.
So we need really to take this second ministerial meeting as a new start to address the problem. We must make sure that action is undertaken. We need action. Put a specific attention for children, because every day 500 children die on the roads. 20,000 children are injured. And we presented a film which was directed by Luc Besson, and I must say it was very rewarding because we had a fantastic success.
On October 8th, 2013, my son Samu was killed crossing the street in front of our home. It's almost 2 years and it still feels like it was yesterday. A parent never gets over losing a child. It is horrifying that every single day around the world there are 500 families who lose a child. There just really are no words for that.